Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss an essay, Third Thoughts by E.V. Lucas. E.V. Lucas was an English writer. He was born in 1868 and died in 1938. He was born in Eltham, South London. His full name was Edward Verrall Lucas. He was a British journalist, essayist, travel writer and novelist. He grew up in a middle class Quaker family in Brighton. After an early apprenticeship to a bookseller, he worked as a journalist and eventually moved to London, where he joined the staff of humor magazine Punch and later became its assistant editor. He has written nearly 100 books that exhibit style and humor and widely appreciated by both readers and critics. His essays gained immense popularity due to the fancy, wit, ease, irony and humor inherent in them. Lucas received honorary degrees from University of St Andrews and University of St Oxford and was appointed Companion of Honor in 1932. He was also a member of the Royal Commission of the Historical Monuments of England in 1928, and from 1933 till his death he was a part of the Crown Lands Advisory Committee. His major works include The Open Road, Wisdom While You Wait, Highways and Byways in Sussex, and Wonders in London. The title of the essay, Third Thought, is humorously inspired by the idiom second thought, which means an opinion or resolution reached after reconsideration. Analysis of the essay. This essay is a gentle satire on common human mentality. The story of the essay was told to Lucas by a friend, and so in this way the friend is the narrator of the story and the story is written in a first person narrative. The essay is written in a first person narrative. Lucas' friend was not a successful businessman. He was dealing in decorative items. He never gained any huge profit in his lifetime. But one day, while drifting about the old curiosity shops, he come across he luckily got a true Turner's painting for 10 shillings. And fortunately, immediately after purchasing it, he found a customer who purchased this painting from Lucas' friend in 50 pounds. In this way, he gained a profit of 49 pounds and 10 shillings. In first time in his life, he gained such a huge profit, and being an ethical man, he decided to share this profit with the dealer whom he purchased that painting that turns out to be authentic Turner. So he decided to share half of the profit with the dealer. But having no stamps and being too late, he postponed the idea and went to bed. He woke up at 3:30 and he used to review his life's errors. So while reviewing his errors, it occurred to him that it was not fair to share half of the profit with a person who is in aptitude, because he realized that it was he who detected the painting and the dealer is completely in aptitude. So he decided that 10 pound would be ample or would be enough for this. Again his thoughts ran because he was unable to sleep, and he took a book of story and started to read a story from this book, and in this way his thoughts ran, and he postponed the idea of sending 10 pounds because it appeared to him that sending 10 pounds would be impractical because it would give a wrong idea to the dealer, and he would expect similar letters from other customers and would be disappointed. So he dropped the idea of 10 pounds and decided to send 5 pounds. But again he changed his thought and said that if he shared his profit with the dealer, then the goddess of business would be angry, because so he decided to send only 1 pound to the dealer. Next day, while playing bridge, he lost all the money and unable to send the 1 pound also. To conclude, we come to the point that man is basically selfish and materialistic, and for the sake of money he can consider, reconsider, and even change his noble and ideal thoughts in his everyday social behavior. The essay also gives us a deep insight into the business psychology and philosophy of the world of trade and commerce. Impulse is the negation of magnetism. Means there is no place of impulse or emotions in business, and buying and selling is a perfectly straightforward matter between dealer and customer. The dealer asks as much as he thinks he can extort, and the customer has paid it, is under no obligation whatever to the dealer. So the narrative is a perfect blend of fancy, humor, and satire. Thank you.